because I'm yes, I am. We're going to be doing a reading. I thought, let's see what the new energies, like current new energies going on around us right now, okay? For the collective, let's just dive right into it. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with you in the collective? What's going on around the collective right now? Current energies, new energies. Please and thank you, Spirit. For the collective, please and thank you. Anything else? New current energies for the collective. No current energies for the collective, please and thank you, Spirit. New current energies for the collective. New collective energies for the collective. Please and thank you, Spirit. One more time. Please and thank you, Spirit. Wow. Alright. So, we have the Hanged Man. Okay. Somebody could be having an epiphany. That's the Page of Wands. So somebody's in like an optimistic sort of energy. We like to see that. And then we have the Queen of Wands, very confident energy. Okay. And then bottom of the deck we have the Page of Cups. Very nice. Let's just dive right into the clarification. Starting with the Hanged Man. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. This is like one of the other times, like I've only twice done this, where I have the deck facing up while I'm shuffling. I never do that, but yet recently I've noticed that I've done it twice. Okay, anyways. Clarifying that Hanged Man, please and thank you, Spirit. Ooh, maybe there's like a metaphor in that. Like somebody's ready to face up, like face up to their actions, face up to repercussions. Anyways, please and thank you. Can you clarify that Hanged Man for the collective, please? What does this have to do with this new current energies? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything else for that Hanged Man? Anything else for the Hanged Man, please and thank you, Spirit? New current energies. Okay. That's a whole stack. I'll take the top one, but not the rest. Okay. Interesting. So, we have, clarifying that Hanged Man, we have the Seven of Swords. Somebody had an epiphany about their actions, potentially. Then we have the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands here. This is a divine match. Passionate, fiery, creative match. Okay. So this could be somebody that is taking a fancy to you. Feels like you two are a good match for each other. Then the Lover's card. Somebody's making a change in their choices to make it more aligned. Definitely could be that they're making better choices to be more aligned to your energy. Or they could just be making more enlightened decisions in general in their life. I'm gonna clarify. Oh, actually, let me show you what's at the bottom of the deck before I clarify one of those. We have the Three of Pentacles. This is somebody that wants to build a foundation with you or collaborate. And yeah, it's possible that the two of you are just really good collaborators. Maybe the two of you have similar interests or career fields, and they want to collaborate with you professionally because they feel like you both are a really good match for that. But it definitely could be romantic as well. I want to see what's underneath that Three of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Could be some sort of conversation being brought up about this collaboration that they want to take place here. Yeah, they have something to say to you. And I think it has something to do with this epiphany. I'm going to clarify that Seven of Swords because I'm like, what exactly is that energy, you know? Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that Seven of Swords for us? What is going on with this person? Ooh, okay, it's getting juicy. So clarifying that Seven of Swords, we have Ace of Cups, and that was followed by the Nine of Swords. Somebody has been very much in their head when it comes to their feelings for you. This is something that feels like a beginning, not something that's been super established yet. Could be somebody that you've casually dated, or maybe not. Maybe it's somebody that you've worked with but haven't gotten past that professional rapport. They may want to break out of that. And that actually gives me context to that Seven of Swords now. So I don't think that this person was necessarily being sketchy. I think that if they were hiding anything, what they were hiding was their feelings for you. And maybe how intense those feelings are, because the Nine of Swords, I sometimes get the Nine of Swords as like a repetitive thought process, or just like thinking over and over and over about something. Like you pretty much can't move off of it, even if it makes you very uncomfortable. So maybe they tried to ignore this connection, tried to suppress it, but it's gotten to the point where they can't any longer. They can't hold back their feelings for you. They can't hold back how intense they've been thinking about you, feeling about you. They want like a beginning here, romantically, if that's possible. So they've had this epiphany here, apparently. So this is probably their new and current energy, is them having this epiphany about you romantically. Maybe they thought that this was just a, you know, professional collaboration. And maybe they didn't quite see, or they didn't want to see, that the two of you are compatible, and now they're like, oh, this person's actually a really good fit for me. And I want to give my cup of love to this person. They definitely could be losing sleep over you and thinking about this connection. It causes them a lot of anxiety and fear. And I feel like that anxiety and fear is probably coming out of simply not... I think that they're afraid of losing you. And it feels like it's because of their past actions, whether that be suppressing their own feelings for you, not vocalizing their feelings, not being serious, maybe acting very flippant and not consistent. But they're showing up now as the King of Wands. That's somebody that's confident, that's somebody that's self-assured and passionate and creative. Then the Lovers, they feel like, but like, how did they go from the King, or not the King of Wands, how did they go from the Seven of Swords to the King of Wands? That's what I want to know. It could simply be that this epiphany, that maybe they feel like you're their divine match, that you're counterparts. That could be how they stepped up to the plate. I'm going to clarify that King of Wands though, because it feels like there's a little bit of a backstory there, like a piece of the backstory that we're not quite grasping. But before I do that, Four of Pentacles. This is hitting me as they were guarded towards you, and so they probably sabotaged something here. But then there's the other part of it where it's like they didn't realize how much they would feel for you, how important this became to them, how important you became to them in their life. They like really see, well, actually feel, maybe even slightly protective over you, territorial, if that applies. Like a little bit possessive, but not. I'm not getting necessarily in a toxic, crazy way. Just like, you know, I like that person. I want them to be mine, like my person. It's not super like crazy energy I'm getting. But yeah, so they originally were probably standoffish, guarded around you, but then it's like the more they were around you, they let down their guard to a degree, maybe not completely. And now they're realizing, wait a second, especially if you like backed off of this person, or, you know, you kept it very strictly professional, they feel like they're missing something if you're not interacting maybe the same way you did before, or something along those lines. Let's see what's underneath that Four of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. So they see you as being guarded, but they really like your mind. They think that you have a beautiful mind. You probably are very creative. The way that you think is probably very interesting, unique. They probably love to talk to you. Oh. They're missing conversations with you. Maybe the two of you don't chat like you used to. And that's something that they desperately miss, it feels like. Okay. I'm going to clarify that King of Wands though. Please, Mickey Spirit, can you clarify that King of Wands? How did this person get to the King of Wands? Anything else for that King of Wands, please, my dear? Okay. So, the King of Wands was clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm taking that as you being in this, like, honestly, this feels like a very independent energy. Somebody that's stable, somebody that's secure, kind of has some sort of plan, and that they're actually fulfilling that plan. Like, they're taking steps to do something here that's going to lead to their success, their abundance, their stability. They see you as incredibly beautiful and stable. And that's the energy that they probably were like, okay, yeah, I need to step up to the plate here, because this Queen of Pentacles is not just going to go with anyone. I need to be just as powerful. I need to be their equal if I want this to work out here. So it's like they're now taking themselves much more seriously, and they're taking this connection much more seriously than they have in the past. Because they want to be on your level. They could have felt like they weren't on your level before. That could have, you know, self-sabotaged this potentially. And then bottom of the deck is Five of Swords. There was conflict here. But from the looks of this image especially, all the swords are down, the person's holding swords in their hands, but like looking away as if the conflict is over, and now it's just a matter of thinking about what has taken place here. They could have thought, yeah, it feels like there was like conflict. So maybe it's something about this person. It could have been that sneaky energy that you were picking up on with the Seven of Swords we saw earlier. You did not tolerate that. Honestly, I'm giving them a taste of their own medicine. So if this person was playing the player or being suspicious, you either took back your energy like, I'm not playing those games, or maybe you gave them, you know, what they were giving you back. So if they suddenly pulled back their energy, for example, you did the same thing. If they started maybe looking at their options, you also did the same thing. Like, that's what I'm getting, is like, fight fire with fire. That's a song. Well, it's the lyrics in a song that's Choked by Escape the Fate, which I've sung a little bit in a past reading, but could be applicable to someone. Anybody that likes Escape the Fate, or that song specifically. I want to see what's underneath that Five of Swords. Page of Cups. You had a crush on this person, or they had a crush on you. Honestly, I feel like it was maybe slightly mutual. It could have been like because of the professional aspect of this connection. It could have been like an unspoken secret between the two of you. Maybe you both were kind of digging each other, but nobody said anything. Nobody, like, it didn't lead anywhere. There could have been other complications in the picture as well. But it feels like you once had really soft, gentle feelings for this person, but now you're on your guard. You've been through too many battles to go through another one. Okay, so that's probably the energy that you've been putting out, is like, you've probably gone through the ringer in terms of your relationship. So you're like, I can see the toxicity a mile away on this person, so I'm gonna avoid that, is what I feel. Of course, apply it best as it suits your situation, but they did something or said something that turned those feelings of romance, love, like, into bitterness and maybe mistrusting. Okay. And now I'm going to clarify the Lovers, because I'm like, I want to know a little bit more about that. Okay, let's clarify. Please make you spirit. Have we got a card for the Lovers card? Clarification for the Lovers card? What is this person doing with these choices? Okay, again, that's a lot of cards. I'll take it out. We only have 3 cards to clarify here overall, so maybe it's a story. Oh. Yeah, this is a story. This is a real story. Okay. We have the 10 of Cups, Ace of Wands, 4 of Wands, right? Yeah, 4 of Wands, and then the 9 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. Clarifying the Lovers. This person sees everything with you. You may have also at one point seen everything with them. But this is about somebody trying to make this become a reality with the Ace of Wands. They want to bring this dream down to earth. The 4 of Wands, they see long-term commitment with you. 9 of Cups, they could see you as a literal wish fulfillment. I'm getting a picture in my mind of like a list of qualities of an ideal person for them. Maybe they wrote it down and you fulfill those. So with all of that energy of like feeling this divine connection, feeling like it's really going somewhere, that there's a future here, why did it end with the 4 of Cups? So maybe you have boundaries up around this person because you're like, I know my standards. I have standards, and I'm going to, like, the people that come into my life have to meet those standards or else they're not coming in, right? And that's totally healthy, good. Especially if you feel like this person's playing games. But it could have even been slightly reluctantly that you did that, because it feels like you did have feelings for this person at one point. But then there's the other side of things too, where it's like maybe this person, I'm getting a little bit of a love bombing energy. I don't know if it ever was spoken though. But maybe through their interactions with you, you kept getting a certain sense of something more. And then maybe they just suddenly closed the door on you out of nowhere. You were like, okay, I thought this was going somewhere, but it's not. But it feels like there's a sense of being overwhelmed. So maybe they were just very overwhelmed by this connection and had to take some time out on their own to reflect on, like, what is it that I truly want out of life or a relationship. And since this is all clarifying the Lovers, out of that time of solitude and reflection, they probably realized that this is a divine match, something that is not easily replicated. Impossible to replicate is what I'm getting. And then the bottom of the deck here, 5 of Pentacles. Okay, So if this person pulled back their energy from you, it's because they were feeling insecure. But I'm also getting, on your side of things, if you pulled back your energy, I feel like there's a mirroring aspect to this connection, because I feel like maybe both of you pulled back your energies. Yours could have been more so in reaction to them pulling back their energy, but their actions made you feel very insecure. Like, am I not good enough? Do I not have enough of this or that? But I think on their end, they were probably insecure. And that makes sense with the Seven of Swords energy, because the Seven of Swords energy gives me an insecure sort of energy, because it's typically somebody that's trying to be dishonest. And I feel like most people are dishonest because of their own insecurities and baggage. So you could have actually been everything this person wanted and more, but they felt like they weren't good enough to match your vibration. And so they were like, I shouldn't waste my time with this because there's just no way this could work out. But again, they didn't give themselves the proper opportunity to see if it actually goes anywhere. Outside looking in, they may have seen you doing, you know, your own thing, and they're like, did I just mess up this once in a lifetime opportunity with this person? They could have actually even spent a period in like self-pitying, I'm getting. Where they're just like, oh, they would never want to be with me. I'm too blah, blah, blah. And I have this thing that I'm dealing with, this other thing. It could have been something like that. But it feels like it's shifting. Especially with the energy that came out to clarify that Hanged Man. It's like now that they have this epiphany, things are starting to turn around. So let me see what's underneath that Five of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting. So, especially with the combination of the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, to me that is hitting me as if they have been insecure and felt, you know, unworthy of you. They are slowly making progress in their insecurities. They could be doing some deep internal work. They're trying to find their value. And that's probably going to be a slow process, which healing always is, right? But it feels like it's going to very much serve them, and probably this connection as well. There's also an energy of like, I want to say rumination, but not, that's not the word. Reflection, I guess. Reflecting on the investments that they want in life. What do they want to invest their energy, time, devotion to, and what will be worth it in the long run? And I feel like they see you as someone that is worth the investment. Very much so. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward now. Let's go on to the Page of Wands and see what that's all about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that Page of Wands and tell me what's going on with that for the collective in terms of new current energies? Please and thank you, Spirit. New current energies with that Page of Wands. Please and thank you, Spirit. I feel like that one was meant to come out and not come out. Okay, there was one that flipped. Is there another one? Oh. So clarifying that Page of Wands, we have the Devil and the Knight of Swords. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Swords and Knight of Pentacles are very opposite energies. One's very slow moving, one is quick and maybe slightly impulsive. And then the Devil. But I'm taking the Devil as actually, maybe I should clarify the devil before I make any assumptions. But right now, my guess is either you showed up as this Page of Wands in their life, somebody that's optimistic, somebody that's excited for things, excited for life, or that's the energy that they want to show up in now with you. The devil could be that they have been very obsessed in thinking about this and in their feelings about this. And now it feels like if they have been possessive or they feel that sense of possessiveness, they either know that that's toxic, or maybe it's getting to that toxic level, or what they think is toxic. May not be necessarily, because I feel like we all have our own scale of what is toxic and what is not. And it's really the individual that decides that, right? I want to clarify that devil card, but before I do that, with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles showing up right now, I feel like maybe this is somebody that wants to step on the gas and then hit the brakes. You know what I mean? So they could be in a slightly chaotic energy if they come towards you. With that Knight of Swords, they could be like, hey, and maybe strike up a conversation with you. But then maybe they pull back because they want to take things slow. It also could just be that they're excited to show up right here, right now with you and maybe clear up a few things. But maybe overall, they're trying to do slow and steady. I feel like that's breaking the ice. The Knight of Swords feels like it's breaking the ice. So if you two have not talked for a while, if you haven't chatted like you used to, they want to open that door again. And then it's like maybe they want to see where it goes from there, but like maybe slowly from that point. And maybe part of that slowness is for both of your benefit, to make sure that you two actually do vibe with one another. You know each other well enough. You can actually build up trust and stability over a period of time rather than just jumping into something unprepared. I want to see what's underneath that Knight of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, this is like the same energy we saw before at the bottom of the deck. So, I see now. It seems like the slowness or pacing themselves in this connection is due to, let me just lay down my cards before they blow away, due to their insecurities about themselves. Because it's like once you see the parts of them that they don't like about themselves, they may think that you're going to run in the opposite direction, and that's why they want to slowly, because it's like, it's not even just building up trust on your end, like you're probably going to need to trust this person, right, and build up that on your end with them, but also on their end, they're probably needing to build up trust with you as well, because it's like, they're so afraid that you're not going to like their insecurities, and that you're going to hate their insecurities just as much as they hate them, which is usually not the case, right? We're usually our own worst critics when it comes to our own insecurities. So they could just be simply a little bit afraid over a hypothetical, you know, the hypothetical of rushing into this, and once you see all of their flaws, you're gonna go run off screaming. And I think that's a lot of catastrophizing and rumination and those sort of mental health terms, like, you know, those, it feels like they're kind of just like playing out a story before it even has taken place, you know? But yeah, let me clarify that devil card. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that devil card for us? What is this about when it comes to this person that's attached to the collective? Please and thank you. Okay. So, the first card that came out, 7 of Pentacles, patience. Something needing to take time. They may be growing impatient because this is clarifying the devil card, so. But it's something that they want. It's something that they want to build towards, but maybe this person's not very patient typically, but they have to pace themselves when it comes to this. So maybe their toxicities or toxic traits or whatever are telling them to just go for it, jump right in. But maybe that's not what's best for the situation, and that's what they're considering is like, would that be a good thing though, if I just jumped in and didn't prepare for this, didn't build anything with this person, etc. They're realizing that something needs patience. It could be their own toxicities that they're working through as well. Maybe it's a slow and steady progress of facing their demons and trying to overcome them. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which we saw earlier. And that Four of Pentacles with the Devil, I think, is instantly validating that this is somebody that's probably a little possessive over you, somebody that's probably like, they think, and that's another thing too, is this is from their perspective, I feel. They feel like it's an unhealthy attachment. And maybe to a certain degree it could be, but they just feel like they're very much ruled by fear. And it's not so much the reality, but the scenarios that they're playing out in their mind that haven't even taken place in reality, you know? So yeah, Devil with the Four Pentacles, they may be clinging onto this a little bit heavy. They probably are really ruminating in this. The connection that they feel for you. They could also be very closed off to anybody else outside of you. I don't know why, but I'm also even getting like maybe this could be somebody that's standoffish with other people, but somehow you see their soft side. Maybe not everybody gets to see that side to them. You light them up though, and that's important. It's like they feel like they need more light in their life, and they feel like you are that light. Queen of Swords, this could definitely be your energy. We did see it earlier, and I believe that it was referring to you. With the, you may be a little bit guarded, but not unfair. You're very smart, you're very insightful, and you see through people. And maybe that's something that makes this person very uncomfortable. Yes, it's like maybe they did in their past do certain toxic behaviors that they're now realizing and trying to overcome. But maybe the reason that they're doing all that is because you are the type of person that does not let stuff fly like that. If you see somebody doing toxic traits, red flags, all those types of things, you're smart enough to know to avoid that energy. And they know this about you. And so they're like, okay, I actually have to be genuine. I have to work on these insecurities or toxicities within me in order to match the person that I want here. You very much are a powerful person too. So they definitely look up to you, I feel. And it's interesting, the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So it's like they want to show up as this like boss, somebody that's confident, somebody that has a good reputation, somebody that... Honestly, the Emperor and the Empress are a married couple typically. And so they could be trying to be your future spouse. Like, they want to show up in that energy and maybe do the things that it takes in order to prepare themselves to be a good partner for you long term. Like, definitely feels like they have faced their shadow, and maybe part of them is owning that, because there's ways to use your shadow self that are not harmful and, you know, explosive. Like, our shadow selves don't need to be erased entirely. They can serve a purpose. Maybe they're realizing that in this process, because I feel like this is very much a feeling of being way more empowered than they may have felt in the past. Let's see what's underneath that Emperor. Five of Swords. So yeah, they feel like you're walking away from them and that you don't want anything to do with them. That could be just their fear though. So maybe that's why they're trying to show up as the Emperor. To kind of show you that maybe they've changed, maybe they've been doing certain things to improve themselves, their life, and they want to come in with that. I'm also thinking that this could be your energy or how they perceive you. Somebody that is very powerful and boss-like. And they could see that especially if you walked away from them. Because you're showing with those actions of walking away from somebody that's on their BS, you're showing them that you have standards and you're selective and you're not going to just let anybody into your energy, into your life. I think they really respect that about you because not everybody does that. It may sound like common sense, but not everybody can or is willing to do that. Walk away from people that either have a bunch of red flags or something's not right or, whatever. So they definitely, I think that they look up to you anyways, but like they definitely see you as somebody powerful and it's like, I need to match that vibration if I'm going to stand a chance here, Okay. Let's go into the Queen of Wands now and see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that Queen of Wands? What does that have to do with the new current energy? Please and thank you. Okay. Let's see. Clarifying that Queen of Wands, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Justice card, the Nine of Wands, and bottom of the deck we got Five of Cups. So you're in this beautiful charismatic energy. You probably have a project or something that you've been working on because it feels like you're not focused on this person. You're focused on something else, most likely something to do with yourself and what you have going on in your personal life. And they've been reflecting on this energy that you have. I feel like you probably are somebody that has made some sort of slow and steady progress in your own life to get to the point of embodying that Queen of Wands. And that inspires this person to do the same. You may be somebody that's on their healing journey or somebody that's, on their spiritual journey, enlightenment journey. And this person sees that it was not an overnight success or super easy. It's something that takes time, slow growth, but they're willing to do that. They also want to slowly build a foundation with you is what I feel. Like build it over time, not just like, jump right in. I see. Balancing out the scales with that Justice card. Something about you is very fair. They see you as somebody that's incredibly fair in the way you act, in the way that you interact with others, your mindsets maybe. They really look up to you. They see you as somebody that's very ethical. Somebody that's not going to just do something in your own best interest and not consider other perspectives or other people or how something is going to affect other people. I feel like you really try to achieve fairness for everyone. And that's something that this person really likes about you. You like things to have a balance to them. You like things being fair. You believe in justice. Karmic justice could be a thing. But honestly, if there's any karma that has taken place out of this connection, I think it's mostly just them losing you and regretting that is their karma. And I think that's something that they've realized. So they probably want to come in to correct that energy, try to make amends, try to balance out those scales between the two of you. And I think that's going to take a level of vulnerability to do that. With the Nine of Wands, they could definitely be trying to express to you that They've been through a lot, and as a result of going through a lot, they act a very certain way. That's maybe scared of commitment or afraid of letting somebody close to them, somebody seeing them for who they truly are. This is somebody that's been through the ringer a few times in terms of their love life, it feels like. It feels like they probably had a whole string of toxic relationships that they had to overcome. And maybe you were like the first genuine, non-toxic person that they've been interested in. And so they're maybe afraid that you're going to be just like everyone else. Like, even if you do have a friendly persona or something along those lines, they may think it's just a mask until you get into a relationship with this person. And then it's, you know, time to fight, I guess. That's what they're worried about. That's like their main concern here is that. But it's weird because they know consciously that you're not like that and you're not going to treat them badly. But it's like their brain keeps trying to tell them, because that's all they've experienced most likely, that you're going to be just like them, because maybe they've never experienced someone that's like you. They've never experienced a relationship with somebody that's healthy. So they feel like maybe that just does not exist. Or maybe it just does not exist for them. I feel like they're going to open up to you about this, though. Talk about their insecurities and maybe their past a little bit. Maybe not go super in depth, because we do have that Knight of Pentacles, which is slow. I feel like it's almost like you're going to slowly chip away at something until you get the full picture of like who this person is, what made them this way. It's like they want to slowly share things with you about themselves, like slowly become vulnerable. Okay, so yeah, if this person was not being vulnerable and open in the past, they want to take baby steps in that direction. So maybe it's like they simply just bring up, oh, my last relationship was a little bit crazy or something. But it's like over time, you're gonna realize, like, maybe they'll share more about that relationship, and it's like, yeah, you know, they sort of controlled everything I did, and, you know, maybe they abused me or something. Like, I feel like that's gonna come along later, once they've built up trust with you, and vice versa, I feel. Like, the more you get comfortable and get to know each other, then they'll finally open up into maybe more specifics. And then you're going to be able to get a clearer image or picture of, like, who is this person and why are they the way that they are? And why do they act like that kind of thing? But they definitely want to make a good impression on you because you're powerful, and honestly, you're really hot to this person. They are very attracted to you. But it's not just that. It's more about, it's not skin deep. It's definitely deeper than that, because it's like they see the parts of your personality that really stand out to them, such as that desire for wanting maybe equality or fairness for everyone, or seeing the way in which your brain works and conversations and the way you view the world. Like, there's a lot more to it than just physical attraction. It's deeper than that. But maybe at first it may come across as, is this person just interested in me for physical stuff? But again, with that Knight of Pentacles, it feels like they'll slowly start to unravel their secrets, and they'll start to slowly show you what's behind the mask if they've been wearing a mask around you. The Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck, so they've felt really brokenhearted over this whole situation, and they're hoping that there's still a future between the two of you that they're looking towards. They could also just be struggling in general, mental health wise, and maybe you're like the light at the end of the tunnel. Aww. They're hoping that even if they've been through a lot, that maybe it could get better if the two of you come together. I want to see what's underneath that Five of Cups. Five of Pentacles. So yeah, they still have those insecurities that are like probably trying to convince them to not come towards you. But I feel like ultimately they will. They just have to overcome that negative talking voice in the back of their mind. And also I feel like, and this is usually the case with insecurities, is like the things that they're insecure about, maybe you love that about them, or maybe you don't even notice those things, or it's something you can work around, you know what I mean? I want to see what's underneath that Five of Pentacles. Page of Wands. So yeah, it's like even though they are insecure and heartbroken, it's like they still want to show up in an enthusiastic, optimistic energy. The Page is, we've seen the Page of Wands twice now, so double confirmation. This could definitely be like a fake it until you make it sort of thing, where they try to show up in like a more charismatic energy until they start to feel more comfortable and confident. But also there's that part of this where it's like, well, I'm getting at that light message again. Like they see you as a light to their life and they want to go towards the light. Because they've been spending too much time in darkness, it feels like. They're ready for something to change here. And I feel like you're that positive change. And then we have the Page of Cups at the bottom of this deck, so they probably have a bit of a crush on you for sure. Oh, and I was going to say, the pages, they usually can indicate somebody that's either maybe less mature, somebody that's younger, or somebody that you just don't know very well yet. So this could also be indicating that this is somebody that you don't really know very well yet, and you still have to learn a lot about each other. But there is that emotional attachment they feel to you, and they also feel that excitement around you too, where it's like, ooh, I feel like optimistic. I feel like maybe this could go somewhere. I feel like, wow, this person's really awesome, you know? I want to see what's underneath that Page of Cups. 3 of Wands. That is saying the time is now. So they're seeing this future with you, and they feel like the sooner they can come towards you and at least start to open up that door again, start to open up the conversation again, like the sooner they do that, the better is what they're realizing. So they could come towards you much quicker than maybe you even realize. And it could catch you off guard, to be honest, because it's like they feel like there's something about acting now that's important. And it could simply be that they don't want to lose you, you know? Let's break out the Oracle and see what it has to say. Please, in Spirit. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? This reading for the beautiful collective. What do we got? What do we got? Okay. Alrighty. So, we got challenging times, manifest, and detach. And then bottom of the deck we have, if I can hold them, crown chakra, divine messages, intuition, channeled messages. I feel like they're getting a lot of intuitive hits off of you, where it's like their intuition is probably saying, hey dummy, look over there, that's your soulmate, you know? Challenging times. I do feel like this person has been going through it in general, and it could be completely unrelated to this situation, or it could be simply due to the situation, but I feel like it's deeper than that. They could definitely deal with mental health issues. They could have had somebody in their life that was really toxic and hurt them a lot, that they're getting rid of maybe, or freeing themselves from. Manifest. I think that's exactly what this person's trying to do with this connection. Manifest it. Bring it into reality. Yeah. So if you start to randomly think about this person at random moments and you're like, why am I thinking about this person? Probably because they're trying to manifest you. Detach, which is honestly part of manifestation. You know, when we want something so badly, we can sometimes linger on that thing, ruminate in it, and be like, why hasn't it come yet? Where is it? Where's my manifestation? But it's important to have a sense of detachment from the desired outcome that you want the situation to be. Because oftentimes, if we want something to be a certain way, we're limiting ourselves to a degree. And we're not as open to other possibilities or other ways of it playing out. And I feel like something could definitely take place between the two of you where it's like, it wasn't according to your plans maybe, or maybe their plans originally. Maybe this is different than what they wanted it to be, the way it's playing out. But it feels like it's like necessary to detach so that you can just be happy at whatever comes of this connection between the two of you. And that's probably a message from Spirit about like releasing expectations, detaching from the situation, and then you can be surprised with whatever comes through and however it does come through for you, because there's no expectations attached to that. And then with the crown chakra, either you or this person could really use some healing frequency crown chakra meditations online on YouTube. You can look them up. Yeah, something about like, I feel like you both are getting like intuitive hits off of each other, but maybe it's like unspoken right now. I want to see what's underneath that. Lead, that's the Emperor. So yeah, this person is willing to step up to the plate for you because you are that boss, and they have to also be a boss in order to win you over. And that's what they're willing to do, baby. Okay, so that's the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee, like me, and we can date. Oh, dearly together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!